So do you want to do the welcome back to this segment, please?
Yeah, welcome back to part two of our football referee today, discussing as many things as we can, given that there were no Premier League games last weekend because of the international break. So we're really focusing elsewhere at the moment. So I'm Trevor Gear again, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cos. Welcome back to the second segment. So, now there's a statistics for Florian Wirtz of Liverpool, and so the statistics for Germany this season, playing for his country, 6 games. In 6 games, he had 2 assists and 1 goal. And then, in comparison with Florian Wirtz in the Premier League this season for Liverpool, he's had 11 goals, 11 games, 11 goals,
It's 11 games, not goals.
not goals, yeah, 0 goals, 0 assists. Now, when I looked at the statistics, I thought, well, is it more easier for him to play in Germany? Is there more? Is it less competition? Where they facing lesser teams? What is the problem? What could be? What could be the possibility?
Yeah, I mean, I think a week or so ago I saw something about it may have been his former manager at his previous club who said this, and he was a little bit critical about the way Liverpool play, along the lines that he said Liverpool are not really taking, if you like, hot shots. I don't think he used that word, but the impression was that he thinks as the forwards get closer to goal, like a lot of teams, I suppose, they still pass the ball around, trying to get a bit closer, make a shot at goal more of a certainty. And it is true, actually. You don't see too many longer range shots. You know, sometimes a ball rolls very sweetly for a player and the crowd will go shoot. You know, you hear this great sound from the crowd. You always know they're saying shoot. And half the time, or more than half the time, they don't shoot. They will still pass it. Now, the impression I got, maybe something was lost in translation from his previous manager, if that's who it was. I think it was.
Hmm.
But he said, you know, basically Liverpool are not trying shots and things from a bit further out. They keep, he didn't say faffing about, but they keep passing the ball to get closer. He said, and the result of that for Wirtz is that the rebounds, which inevitably come either from the goalkeeper or from a defender, he's there to lap those up. And he's always played like that. He plays almost a second ball off of something else. He said, but Liverpool don't play that way. He said, so of course, this is why, he said, this is why he's not getting assists or goals. He's not getting those chances which used to fall to him because of other players attacking options. And I thought that's quite an interesting thing to say. Now, the truth of it, who knows? But it does strike me as a bit odd if this guy is scoring freely for his country and presumably freely and assists as well for his previous team. And now at Liverpool, 11 games in, no goals, no assists. That it may just be he's got to adapt. You know, you can't just expect a new team to change their style for you, and that maybe the manager who spoke on his behalf needs to remember that, and he probably isn't suggesting otherwise. But a new player should be, and he probably is, good enough to see where his chances are. Good players make their own space; they make their own chances. Um, you know, he's got to work at it, and maybe the whole new structure that he finds himself in is a bit forbidding. He's got to work at it, and maybe the whole new structure that he finds himself in is a bit forbidding. And again, we touched on this before, but I don't really think it's relevant perhaps so much now, but given in their dressing room at Liverpool, the home dressing room, they will have that number 20 shirt placed for Diogo Jota, which is eternally now his number. And I guess it shows in the dressing room. Maybe they have been going through the players this first 11 games, sort of a transition with new players, some players gone, but also Jota's awful passing, the way he had that terrible accident. And this guy's and the other players have come into that and were not there. They didn't know Jota, presumably. So that may have impacted on a number of things, and it could have explained why Liverpool faltered after 5 fairly fortunate victories. 3 or 4 of them were fortunate that they still had them, but then they were losing 4 or 5 Premier League games, which was just really out of the ballpark as far as they're concerned. So maybe Wirtz has been a casualty of the changes of the loss of Jota, and gradually he's going to find his feet. So it's going to be quite interesting because, when you see a player who's brilliant internationally, brilliant with his previous team, which is why Liverpool bought him, and then he's not producing, well, maybe it's not all down to him, is really what I'm trying to say. Yeah. He's got to adapt, but maybe the club needs to think about how they might encourage him to do things a bit differently. Yeah. Tough decisions, though. Tough situation.
It is, isn't it? I mean, we did talk about last week on this show. We did talk about Arsene Wenger's assessment of how his move is impacted Liverpool's midfield, because he said, "Well, I will only come to you, which is Liverpool, if I get to play number 10." And then Arsene Wenger's got his own ideas about that, but we wish him luck, don't we? We wish him luck in all he does. Yeah. We wish that he improves, and because it doesn't look like he's got problems outside the field of play, if you know what I mean. Like other players might have things going on with them, and it sort of distracts from the game. Yeah. He looks like a guy that is focused on the game. Just maybe the change of environment, he hasn't been able to adapt fully to accommodate the changes that's been thrown at him. But anyway, so
it's a big deal, isn't it? It's a big deal. We